What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Gouache Universe podcast. I'm that comic book artist that discusses comics, science fiction, and pop culture news, all while changing the universe, one subject at a time. First of all, let's just put this out there. We all like RDJ. He served his time as an Avenger. He started the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He's the one that kicked it all off. We love RDJ. With that said, what the hell is going on? Now, it's been what, a week and a half since we just got this earth-shattering news from San Diego Comic-Con. Now, the initial response was, wow, RDJ is back. But now that we've gotten a little minute to kind of think it over and, with a clear head, so to speak, man, what is going on here, man? I mean, look, like I said, we all like RDJ, but I don't want to see RDJ as Dr. Doom. I mean, what are we doing here? I mean, it's kind of like he was Iron Man. Now, all of a sudden, are they going to somehow convince us that he's going to like transform into, Dr. Doom, like in like an alternate reality? I mean, from what I'm guessing that they're trying to spin it as is like, okay, if we all seen, spoiler alert, we all seen the first Iron Man, and we all know about the cave scene that kind of diverged his life and transformed his life into the better man than he was previously. So are the writers now going to try to convince us that Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark is going to be Dr. Doom by making somehow that cave experience never happen in like an alternate reality? And then that's how he's going to turn into like a variant version of Dr. Doom. I mean, it can't be as simple as that, man. I mean, that's an idea, but the writers are going to have to write the hell out of that story in order to convince me that it's going to work. I mean, I get it, variant, multiverse, storyline. This is a variant version of Tony Stark if he had become Dr. Doom. But I don't know about y'all, but I kind of just feel cheated out of the real Dr. Doom. I mean, that's one of the greatest villains in comics, in comicdom, in all of comics. It's become a character like no other. And I was looking forward to a proper Dr. Doom. And how is this going to affect, the Fantastic Four movie that's in production right now? Because that's their major villain. I mean, of course, Dr. Doom has had his claws in pretty much every corner of the Marvel universe. I mean, he's a villain to, the Black Panther. He's a villain to, Namor. He's a villain to the Avengers, X-Men on different occasions. So it's kind of like he's been all over the Marvel universe, but he's a Fantastic Four proper villain. And so how is Robert Downey Jr.'s Dr. Doom going to factor into that? I mean, I just think that the writers in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which I'm loving, by the way. I mean, there's all this talk about comic fatigue, but comic book movie fatigue, but I'm loving it. I've loved a lot of things that they've done since Infinity War and Endgame. I like Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I enjoyed the Marvels. I enjoyed all the stuff that they've been doing. Yeah, well, not everything. A couple of projects, was like a hit and miss, but that's with anything. I mean, you can't always be on top. You can't always have a perfect 10. But anyway, I digress. To go back to what I'm saying, it's like they're making it hard for themselves because they're having to do this. They're having the same problem that I perceive with Dr. Doom. Well, they created a new, how do I put this? They've created a new problem, it didn't even have to exist. You didn't even have to create this problem for yourself. And what I mean by that is, like, for example, with the X-Men, we love Hugh Jackman. We love, I was glad that he came back and everything. but you're making it hard to reintroduce the new X-Men if you keep bringing up the old X-Men. You know what I mean? And so I say that to say, with RDJ coming in as Doctor Doom, I assume at some point they're going to give us a proper Victor Von Doom Doctor Doom, which we all wanted. But bringing RDJ back as a variant of Doctor Doom, now audiences, well, I guess what their desired effect is for them, the audiences, to fall in love with Robert Downey Jr.'s version of Doctor Doom. And if that's the case, then it's going to be even harder to bring the Doctor Doom proper into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which is Victor Von Doom. So this problem didn't even have to happen. That's what I'm trying to say. I mean, it's kind of like, just there's plenty of actors out there that could have knocked Doctor Doom out of the park. I mean, there's plenty of actors that I was, pretty much looking forward to actually taking on this role. I mean, what's that actor? He did it's on the tip of my tongue. He did There Will Be Blood, Abraham Lincoln, My Left Foot. Very intense actor. I can't think of his name. Hopefully I get through this video. I can think of his name before I get through this video, but if not, put it in the chat for me if you know what I'm talking about. But I was looking forward to him. Cillian Murphy was brought into the conversation at one point. Liam Neeson was brought into the speculation at one point. Javier Bardem, what's his name? Is it Javier Bardem or Jardin? Javier Bardem. You know what I'm talking about. He was in No Country for Old Men. He played the villain with the dopey haircut. Yeah, even him. I was looking, there was many talented actors that were brought into the conversation to portray the Doctor Doom, and which I was hopeful for and excited about. Mark Strong, that would have been a hell of a casting if they would have casted him as Doctor Doom. But man, what's his name? I'm still trying to think about the My Left Foot guy. It's on the tip of my tongue. What is it? You know what I'm talking about. I have his face and I have his name on the tip of my tongue. I just can't think of it. Daniel Day-Lewis. Daniel Day-Lewis. That's who I've been trying to think of. Daniel Day-Lewis is a heck of an actor, and he would have knocked that role out of the park. But I don't know. I think he mentioned something about being retired or something like that. But man, that would be a heck of a coming out of retirement project for him. But anyway, all of that's kind of like done away with now, because now we got Robert Downey Jr. coming back as Doctor Doom. Come on, man. I mean, that's just, what's their play here? I mean, what's Disney and Marvel's play? I mean, are they desperate to get back to the place in pop culture that they perceive that they're not anymore? I mean, they're still on top pretty much. I mean, it'll take a long time, even though a lot of people are saying, that Marvel's gone down. They say that after every film. Like, if one project is good, Marvel is back. If one project tanks, Marvel's down. If one project does good, they're back up again. So it's kind of like you can't really follow fans or whatever. Fans are inconsistent. So it's kind of like, 1 minute they're with you, the next minute, there's no room for error with fans. You make one bad move, oh, it's over. Marvel Cinematic Universe is not like it used to be. So whatever, man. I don't follow that. I mean, if something is good, and I'm not a part of that hive mind. I mean, if it's something is good, like I enjoyed the Marvels. A lot of people was like review bombing that movie before it even came out. They didn't even see the movie. So I gave it a chance and I enjoyed it. And, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun movie. Everything can't be Endgame or Infinity War, but I don't know. I think Marvel did kind of back themselves into a corner, because that movie, Infinity War and Endgame, was so great. That's kind of like, it spoiled the fans, so to speak. All of us, it kind of has us thinking that every single project moving forward after that has to be an Endgame or Infinity War. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I still don't know. Back to what I was saying, I don't know what Marvel and Disney's play is. I mean, are they desperate by bringing Robert Downey Jr. back? It's like, oh, we got to get Robert Downey Jr. back because we got to get the Marvel Cinematic Universe back up to where it was. So if we get him back, then he'll get with the fans, and the fans will get on board and this, that, and the other. But I don't know, man. I mean, from what I've been seeing so far and all of the, commentary on him coming back, the fans and a lot of people are divided, you know, and I'm kind of like, I don't know if that's what they wanted, what they would was anticipating, but it's a lot of fans, including myself, is divided on the subject because you have some fans that are like, oh yes, he's back, this, that, and the other. But then you have, people who are in kind of my camp, which is like, move on. Like I said, I kicked it off by saying, look, we all look like RDJ. Nothing against him personally. I'm sure they're paying him a boatload of money, but I kind of wanted to see somebody else, I wanted to see a fresh actor. I mean, when I say fresh actor, I wanted to see somebody else inhabit that role moving forward and bring their own level of star power and talent to the role. But it's kind of like going back to Robert Downey Jr. Yeah, it just feels like it's going back, and I just don't know, man. I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, well, I'm sure it's going to be divided like most of the other commentaries, but I'm just not really feeling the whole Robert Downey Jr. back as Doctor Doom. Now, Secret Wars is coming up. Now, I would have enjoyed Robert Downey Jr. to come back in some form or fashion in Secret Wars. That would have been cool. Have him, his Iron Man, a variant version of Iron Man, come back as Tony Stark in Secret Wars, because that's what that's movie is all about. It's supposed to be bonkers. It's supposed to be, all the heroes from all, well, since this is the multiverse saga, there was speculation that Tobey Maguire and Hugh Jackman and Tom Holland, Andrew Garfield, and many other characters, throughout the Fox verse, Blade. Well, not Blade. Blade wasn't part of Fox, but you know what I'm saying? All of the Marvel characters from the past were going to somehow appear. Even the X-Men from past movies and things were going to appear in Secret Wars. And so it would have been cool to have, Robert Downey Jr. come back, as kind of like a last, like tipping of the hat, even though, his character, his fate in Endgame is set in stone, but there could have been a variant of Tony Stark come back in Secret Wars, which would have been Robert Downey Jr. That's how I would have done it. But to have him come back as Doctor Doom, just ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous. And I mean, look, I'm excited to see, okay, the writers, they got to get to work, because they're going to have to do some heck of a lot of writing to write their way out of this one. They're going to have to write I don't know, man. They have to go back to writing school and, you know, and put everything into this, to this story to make me believe or convince me of Robert Downey Jr.'s, you know, Tony Stark version of Doctor Doom. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments, man. I mean, I said my opinion. I wanted to get on here and drop my opinion on this because I don't know, it's odd, man. Very odd, very odd. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. Chime in. Are you excited about Downey coming back as Doctor Doom of all characters? Are you not? Are you in my camp? You kind of in the middle of the road? Let me know what you think. And be sure to, of course, subscribe and like and share the page and everything. And yeah, until next time, see you in the universe.